following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
Good people, good people, good people. It's 12:30 Central Time here in Texas. We're in the SWBC studios, and you are listening to The Players Lounge. I'm here with the ultimate survivor, Danny McCray. Got his first immunity, his first immunity idol last week on Survivor, so he's feeling good. It's just me. I'm just your average box safety over here. So,
is that a Burberry shirt?
I don't know.
Ain't nothing average about it.
It was a gift
to yourself.
You know how the game works. You know how it works.
I had a rough week. I went and bought me some Burberry.
Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to splurge on yourself. It's about making yourself happy sometimes. And speaking of being happy, it is a Victory Friday. We were able to watch the game last night, and look, I'm just going to dive straight into it. Let's dive straight into the defensive side of the football, because to me, that was the most impressive part about this game. This defense showed up and showed out. So, D-Mac, I'm going to give the floor to you. You were the man that said it from the beginning. Hired Dan Quinn. He's going to turn his defense around, top 10. I'm not so sure about the top 10, but you were ahead of the mark about hiring Dan Quinn, so I'll let you go ahead. I'll give you the floor. What did you think about this defense performance?
Okay, listen. Let me ask you this before we get into it. Okay, top 10 defense. This is what I say. We should at least do it to like half a meal. Because listen. This is why I say that. Not
a meal, half a meal.
Half a meal. Okay, this is what I'm saying. You were watching this defense play. All right?
Yeah.
Outside of like total yards, would you agree that this defense, outside of 1 to 2 games this season, has looked like a top 10 defense?
Well, I would even say top 5.
If you didn't know how many yards they were giving us, some of them were under certain circumstances. Even last night, you see this last touchdown at the end
calories.
Of the game.
Empty calorie yards.
They holding them like 305 or whatever, 350, and then all of a sudden they had 405.
Yeah,
right?
Empty calorie game.
So I think because of that, it's going to be hard for us to get to like top 10 because of just the yards given up. But the way the team is playing, turnovers, stops on third down, not giving up scores. Like, we give up a big play every once in a while, and that just started happening in these recent games.
Past couple games.
But when I talk about when you see our defense plays better based off how our offense plays. Now, offense didn't have a great game last night, but our defense played from ahead. And when we are able to do that, our pass rush and the way that we're able to get our eyes on the ball and read the quarterback and make those plays, we almost unstoppable.
Yeah, I get it.
Which is the issue, right? Because you have a Micah Parsons. What he has, 10 sacks now?
10 sacks now.
He got 10 sacks now. You see, Tank came back, and for his first game back
in 10 games,
man looked good.
He did. I'll say that. He did.
DBs look. Anthony Brown bounced back game, came back, played a good game. Trayvon Diggs should have had 3 picks.
Yeah, he was all over the place as well.
Should have had 3 picks. Curse. Can we talk about Curse?
Yeah, we could go ahead, man. Got to.
Like, when you talk about somebody maximizing their opportunity, because he came in as a guy where you're like, it's a 1-year deal. We're not really sure. We'll see how he plays. This dude is looking like a bona fide star in the league. Dan Quinn is putting him in position around the line of scrimmage to make those plays. You see him rushing every once in a while. He's holding the edge. He's making tackles in the backfield. He's balling. Overall, Dan Quinn has the pulse on this defense, and the pulse is we are rolling.
They are.
Neville Gallimore coming back. Randy Gregory coming back.
One more time for the people in the back, man. One more time.
Neville Gallimore coming back. Randy Gregory coming back. If you get a chance to get this offense back to rolling how they were before, and we're playing ahead just by a touchdown, just by 10 points, I think that we will be unstoppable on defense. It's that leakage that we get in the run game, which we got to try to find a way to fix it. I think Neville and Randy will help us when we get to that point. But outside of that, you clean up a couple big plays, and this defense is stout. Yeah. So I'm like really, really happy and impressed with what Dan Quinn has been able to do, and also the players buying in and being able to up their game since Dan Quinn has been here as well.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you 100% on that one, all right? I mean, look, Dan Quinn has come in here and he's definitely shifted the mold, or he gave him this winning mentality. Whatever the case may be, he's got this defense flying on all cylinders. You just mentioned Kearse, who was supposed to come in here, and I thought, like a majority of the people, he's going to come in here, contribute on special teams. He might play a little bit in a dime package or something like that, but his overall career, you're looking at it like, okay, this guy, he can't be the guy. But he has come in here, and it started from training camp. This guy started in training camp. He became that leader, that vocal leader. As we see, he has the green dot on his helmet. So he's the guy out there making all the calls, getting everybody adjusted. And if you look at it, that pregame huddle, if you look at it when they're all getting done stretching and everybody's coming to hype everything up, who's in the middle of that circle? It's Javon Kearse. This guy is in there, or Jayron Kearse. He's in there hyping these guys up. So not only is he a lead by example guy, but he's a vocal leader as well. And that's what this defense needs. And overall, getting back to the Saints game, this defense was extremely impressive to me. I mean, just to be able to get after the quarterback, like you mentioned, Demarcus Lawrence coming back from a 10-game injury. He was out for 10 games for the injury. He came back, and he looked like he didn't miss a step. The guy was out there, almost got him a sack off the edge, rolling. Of course, Parsons was balling. We're going to talk about him a little bit later, but this defense bottled up this Saints attack. Now, granted, the Saints was hurting a little bit. Their team is hurting. They got Taysom Hill in that quarterback, and I thought from the beginning, going into this game, that Cowboys defense would be able to take advantage of Taysom Hill. I mean, this is a guy who's only thrown 8 passes so far this season, so I thought we'd be able to take advantage of him. I knew he was going to be, good running because this guy's a load. I mean, he's about 245, so Wildcat. He's back there like basically a running back, and he got speed. The guy has some juice, so he ran over 100. So that's one thing the Cowboys have got to get better is that run defense, in my opinion, because when you go against teams, once you get to the playoffs, that can run the ball well as have a good quarterback, it might cause a little bit dilemma. But last night, they did a great job on Taysom Hill as far as throwing the football. They intercepted him 4 times. And to me, the most important part about that interception is they were able to turn those interceptions into points, right? Whether it's them taking the ball back or getting the offense in great position. So, I mean, to me, this defense played lights out, and you can't say enough about Dan Quinn and what he's been able to do for this defense. And then substituting in for Mike McCarthy, who had COVID. He came in there, oversaw the scheme of everything. He didn't let the moment get too big for him, and he went out there and they did what they were supposed to do. Defensively, they dominated a team that they knew they had the upper hand on. They had the better talent. They had the better individuals. And they did what they had to do. Now, offensively, we'll get into it a little bit, but we got to make sure we get this thing rolling a little bit because right now the defense is not the reason this Cowboys team is lackluster in games they should be blowing people out.
Yeah, and the truth is the defense has had more good games than the offense has.
I would agree with that. I would agree.
If at the beginning of the season you would have came in here and said, hey, man, the defense is going to hold our offense up majority of the time, right? Mm-hmm. You would be like, oh, man, y'all crazy.
Yeah, that's what crazy. For sure.
But at this point, you're looking at the defense to have to play a certain way in order for our offense to get back on track because, like you said, we're dealing with injuries. We're trying to figure out the offensive line. We're dealing with an injury from Zeke. So they're looking at the defense, and Dan Quinn has these guys ready saying, hey, man, that's why you hear a guy like Kearse come out and say against Kansas City, well, we hold them to 8, then we win, right? You know what type of belief in your coach and your system and your players you have to say, hey, man, I don't want to hear nothing about the offense, all right? Yeah. If we hold these dudes to 8 points, they score less than we do, then we win the game. And I believe we can go out there and do that against anybody. That is the ultimate confidence in what you're doing over there. And they got the right to believe so because go out last night and get 4 picks. Trayvon Diggs gets 8. He's trying to keep up with Micah Parsons now.
He is.
And everybody's like, nah, you got one. I need one. Give me that. Right? And they did exactly what they were supposed to do against a guy who is not a proven passer. Mm-hmm. And what you're supposed to do is go out there, handle your business. If you play how you know you can play, that's how the game should end up for you. Mm-hmm. Trash yards.
Yeah.
I just wish we could fix it. And that's my own selfish thing because I'm just like, I want us to be top 10 in yards.
Deservedly. They deserve to be in the top 10.
But nobody can look at this defense and say, hey, man, they're not playing like a top 10, like one of the top tier defenses. That's why you see when the pro football, whatever comes out, they're number 5. Yeah. They might be number 6 because they're watching the game and they're able to see exactly what's going on. Just like last night, you say, all right, Dallas actually ran the ball okay. They had 146 yards. We didn't.
No, you didn't. You take away that one run from Pollard, which I'm thankful, Pollard, because I got you in fantasy. But he take away that one run, it was 22 carries for 57 yards.
Yeah.
And that's just not going to work offensively. But back on the defensive side, does it worry you a little bit that if we don't get takeaways, that we'll have what it takes to beat a playoff team. Like, I'm not worried about these next 5 games. We got the division for 4 of them, and then we got Arizona, which will be a tough contest. But I'm not worried about that. But once we get to the playoffs, does it make you nervous a little bit that we have to take the ball away 4 times in order to get this victory? Or do you think this offense will continue to get into shape and eventually round into the offense that we thought they would be?
Yeah, listen, if the offense doesn't pick it up, I don't think we have a shot. You can go back to week 1 against Tampa. We get 4 takeaways, we lose the game.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers has only thrown 4
the entire season. You know what I mean?
Season. Kyler Murray is also taking care of the ball. I think the only way you can turn him over is if he's running it, and then also you get a sack force fumble. So you got quarterbacks who you're going to face who are able to take care of the ball. So the offense needs to get on track so we have those opportunities. Because what we also saw was against Denver, if we're playing from behind, those opportunities to take the ball away, they aren't there.
They gone.
They aren't
People just
there,
running that thing.
right? So you have to be able to play complementary football. And so far, we haven't been able to since the bye week. I don't know what's going on with the offense, but hopefully we get that back on track so the defense can play how we expect them to play. Pin your ears back, earn the right to rush on 3rd down, and you got a guy with 10 sacks. Then you got Randy Gregory, who can get pressure on the passer.
You
got Tank Lawrence, we know can get pressure on the passer. Then you're also rushing a guy like Kershaw. You're rushing a guy like Jordan Lewis. Like you have ways to manufacture this stuff, but if you're not able to stop the run or play from ahead, then all that is null and void.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that just got me thinking a little bit of, once we get everybody healthy, the Randy Gregory's come back, Neville Gallimore. Just think of the package defensively we could put out there on 3rd down. Like just a NASCAR package. You can put Parsons on one edge, Randy Gregory on the other. You can kick D-Law on the inside and put Dorrance Armstrong in there, call it some type of a NASCAR package or whatever it may be. But we got an opportunity defensively to do some damage once we get to these playoffs. Now, our matchup, if everything stays the same, Tampa wins their division, we win ours, Green Bay wins theirs, and let's just say, Arizona wins the West. Our matchup in that first round could possibly be the LA Rams. It could possibly be the LA Rams, and we know what they have over there as far as firepower offensively. So that could be a game that if we don't get, this offense going in the right direction, it could get a little sticky for me. And I don't want to say one and done, but I'm kind of nervous about that one.
And because I got to step up for our defense. Okay, if we moving on to possibly playing LA.
If we do, if everything shakes out.
They having the same issues that we have offensively.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They have no idea where to go, where to turn. They have not looked like the same offensive team. Matthew Stafford has been turning the ball over.
Yeah.
I've seen he's my starting quarterback in fantasy, so I pay a little bit of extra attention to him, okay? They haven't found it yet. They lost it. They're realizing that loss of Robert Woods, just like we are realizing that loss of Amari Cooper is bigger than we thought it was. It's not that next guy just step in and get the thing rolling. So their defense is feeling the same. Okay. They're not able to get that pass rush. You got Von Miller, you got Aaron Donald, but those guys aren't able to pin their ears back and rush the passer because they haven't been able to get anything rolling on offense to threaten the defense, the other offense, to have to score those points and move the ball like that. So we're going through the same thing. So right now, as of today, I think we'll be okay. We'll be okay. 2 struggling offenses against 2 good defenses. That'll be one of the game we played last time.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a toss-up on that one. And real quick, I know we're about to get into our break here in a little bit, but I gotta discuss this guy before we get off of this subject. We'll talk about Micah in a little bit in the next segment. But D-Law, this guy, he came back, 10-game hiatus. He comes back, first game in a long time against the New Orleans team. How did you think he performed out there?
Listen, as you know, I expected D-Law to come out and play well. Yeah. I said if he's healthy and he's able to move how he normally moves when he's actually 100% healthy, which we haven't seen often, right?
We haven't seen in a while.
Then I think he's going to have a huge impact on the game. This is his first game back. We saw him move really well. He looked healthy. He brought a different intensity to that left side of the defensive line. All right, he was rushing. He was coming off the ball. You see him line up over the 3 technique. You see him. Over the guard. You see him line up outside. I think they were getting him back into the game, and he made some plays out there. Right, yeah, he made me nervous. He come across the field. He makes the tackle on the guy. He catches a knee to the helmet.
Right,
I'm like, oh no, come on! And he gets back in the game. I'm like, yes, he's rolling. So I was really impressed with what he was able to do with coming back after such a long time off.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. 10 games off. I thought for sure the guy was going to be gassed. I'm like, he's going to go out there, have a couple good plays, and then be like, I'm tapping out. But you can see out there, it was like they had to hold him from coming back in the game. I mean, the guy was like, look, I don't snap count, all that pitch count. I don't want to hear nothing about that. I haven't been a part of this team in 10 games, and I'm looking to put my impact on this game. And I think he did a good job of that. I don't think anybody along that defensive line plays the run as well as D-Law did. And you saw that last night. He was able to get in there from his defensive end position and shut things down when they're talking about the running back. Now, Taysom Hill, that's another story. Right. But D-Law, I think he did a good job, came in there. He almost, like you said, he almost forced a fumble out there, came through. His pass rush is getting better. And this is a guy that's missed 10 games. This is his first game back. And to me, it didn't even look like he missed a step. So I'm excited for what I've seen with D-Law. This defense right now, the sky can be the limit. If they continue to take the football away like this, that's a winning formula right there. If you can get the ball back to your offense, and let's just say our offense gets back into shape and what they've been doing and what they're best at is scoring points. If you can take the ball away and get it back to them on a regular basis, I think the sky's the limit for this team.
Hold on. I'll tell you, the one thing that's scary about D-Law is this, okay? Give him the same time that everybody else has had with Dan Quinn to elevate his game. All right, he had one game. He came out, forced fumble, then he's been out. Yep. Give him the same opportunity to Trayvon Diggs and Jordan Lewis and Kurtz and all those guys have had to elevate their game, like playing under Dan Quinn. Give D-Law that time, and I think you're gonna see something special.
You forgot one person. Micah Parsons.
Sorry.
But
he didn't elevate his game.
Yeah,
because
he was just like that.
He wasn't here last year.
All right, I'll give you that. Speaking of Micah Parsons, we're going to dive into this guy and how explosive he has been so far in this rookie season. When we get back from break, this is the Players Lounge. We're in the SWBC studios brought to you by Hotels.com. We'll see you after the break.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it, they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state, based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Have you been treating it well? Has it been going places? If not, then it's about time you start using SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the best way to get your butt tickets to live events. Just ask the thousands of other butts who have rated it the #1 ticketing app. So what are you waiting for? Download the app now or visit SeatGeek.com to get tickets to sports, concerts, and live events and make your butt happy. SeatGeek. Get your seat in a seat.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Welcome back, good people. We're here in the SWBC studios. I'm here once again with the ultimate survivor, Danny McCray. You're top 6 right now. There's only 6 left?
Still kicking, only 6 left.
Only 6 left? That's
still kicking.
A hell of a performance right there, man. Hey, top 6, he's doing it, man.
I'm glad I wasn't first.
Yeah, that's true. If you were the first, hey, you would have never heard the end of it. I'll tell you that right now.
It's just good now.
Yeah, you good. You made it to the top 10, so, hey, I got to give you props on that. It's just me, your average box safety over here, so... Look, we're going to dive, before we dive into this offense, because we got to have a whole segment, dedicated to this offense. When we did the defense earlier, we got to have a whole segment to the offense. But before we dive into that, we have got to take a look and give this man his flowers, Micah Parsons. I mean, look, this dude is playing at an all-pro level right now. I said it earlier in the year, I don't know if I've seen a rookie outside of maybe Dez Bryant to have this big of an impact for a team. And I would even say it's a bigger impact because this team is winning right now. Rookie year, we was 6-10. Yes. Even though that guy was balling, we were still 6-10. But Micah Parsons, he's playing on another level right now. And it doesn't matter where you put him. You could put him at the DN spot, linebacker, you put him at the D tackle, nose guard. It doesn't matter. He seems to be able to make an impact wherever the case may be. We saw him go out there and get a sack. His closing speed is amazing. That's what, 10 on the year right now? I mean, this guy has 10 sacks on the year right now. We also saw on that J-Ron Curse interception, we seen him carrying a wide receiver up the seams. Like, I don't think people understand how difficult that is, because even for a defensive back to carry a wide receiver on a wheel route, that's tough, especially a guy like Kenny Stills who can run. But Micah Parsons was there step for step, broke the pass up, led to a J-Ron Curse interception. This guy is balling on another level, and like I said, I just don't know if I've seen an impact, man, like this before. D-Mac, what are your thoughts on the young man?
I'll tell you, when I watch Michael Parsons play, I'll tell you what I used to hear from coaches all the time. Basketball coaches say, hey, man, you can't coach height.
Yeah.
Football coaches say, hey, man, you can't coach speed.
Can't coach speed.
And when you watch the guy, like on the boot, right, you think that you're going to slow him down a little bit on the boot, and then Taysom Hill comes around the corner. He's like, oh, man, this dude in my face already. The closing speed that this dude has is amazing.
Unreal.
It is DB closing speed.
Yeah,
Defensive backs have closing speed like this when they're trying to track a ball. Now, Deion Sanders had closing speed like this.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He would make you believe that you're ahead of him, and then when they throw the ball, he go get it. Michael Parsons is that guy from the linebacker position. Playing great, another sack, 5 tackles. I mean, and that doesn't even account for all the pressures, all the confusion that he causes on the defense, because now offensive coordinators have to really plan for him specifically. They say, look at the defense. They say, who do we have to plan for? Who is it? And you got a big 11. So when they're at practice, and when the Saints are at practice, on their scout team, somebody has the 11 jersey.
You got to. It's highlighted.
Right?
He's highlighted.
So, he's playing amazing, man. And I think at this rate, he could end up with 15 and 16 sacks.
Easily.
And there's no longer Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Oh, yeah, that's a given. Put it in the trophy case already. It's over with.
You're up now for Defensive Player of the Year. And your team is going for a playoff run, right? Playing for the Cowboys. You're going to be seen all the time.
Primetime
and you just continue to keep rolling, right? Because we know there's such thing called the rookie wall.
Oh, yeah. Pretty much everybody's hit it.
My man is in week 13.
He ain't hitting that wall. He ain't hitting that wall.
And he is doing just fine. So shout out to him. The dude's playing amazing. When I see him, and I told you that I saw Sean Lee up, and Sean Lee told me he's the best stacked linebacker that he's ever seen coming out of college and being able to do what he's done. And I'm like, dang, Sean, you was like 2 years late.
That's it.
Imagine a Sean Lee next to a Micah Parsons.
You kidding me? You got Sean Lee, who's basically would have been an extension of the coaching staff out there. He would have been able to, hey, Parsons, you go there, you go there. And then you got the athletic ability and explosiveness of Parsons out there. That would have been a magical combination. But look at this guy, it don't matter where you put him. It doesn't matter where you put him. He defensive end, nose tackle, coach, go get the quarterback. I got you, coach. And he's going to make the play. And what's most impressive to me is it seems like the moment is never too big for this guy. The bright lights, prime time, it don't matter what type of game it is. You could be in the street somewhere. He's going to give you 100%, and he's going to make plays. I mean, this guy is a bona fide playmaker. And look, I didn't see it. When we missed out on Surtain, we missed out on J.C. Horn. I'm like, man, I don't know about what's this guy gonna do, but
y'all hear this, right? Because you and Newey sit there and talk about, but look what Micah's doing. I was like, yeah, but on the day of,
I didn't call it.
On the day of, there's no way in your they could say they knew that he was going to play well. We've drafted a lot of linebackers, all right, who play well, but not like this. not a team in the league expected Micah Parsons to be able to play this well.
No, if we go back and do a redraft, he might be number one overall. I mean, the way this guy is doing things, and to be a rookie and a guy that didn't even play football last year because of the COVID situation, opted out. For him to come in here and still be able to play the way he's playing, it's remarkable. It's remarkable.
It's because his weird uncle.
That's what it is.
Everybody said Dan Quinn's like that weird uncle that everybody likes.
He's a mad genius.
Listen. In any other scheme, I'm sure Micah Parsons would still be great.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn knows exactly what to do with this guy.
He does.
which is amazing.
So, real quick, before we get on the offensive side of things, where do you put him going forward? Because Randy Gregory's coming back soon. He seems to be able to ball out and have a bigger impact on the defensive line, but he makes great plays at the linebacker as well. And when you already have Tank Lawrence and Gregory there, Do you push him back to that linebacker spot, or you say, you know what, this guy's causing too much havoc. I got to keep him on the D-line. Go ahead and get after that quarterback.
Oh, you play him at linebacker.
Okay.
And then and most of the time you're rushing 5.
Yeah, you add on to, okay.
Or if you want to, you move Randy in, or you move D-Law in, you move Micah up, roll up another safety.
Yeah,
right?
Like, curse. He's playing linebacker
You got many options, and that's what's great about what Micah Parsons can do, because the defense can't plan for where he's going to be at.
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Yeah, the best thing that you have now is the mystery of, like, where is 11?
Yeah.
Right? And as long as the offense can't determine or dictate that, then you have the advantage with this guy.
Yeah, you're right. You got the advantage with this guy, but overall, man, this guy is playing amazing. And man, look, rookie of the year, that's so new. We're talking about defensive player of the year now, and the Cowboys got 2 people in that category. I mean, you got Diggs and you got Micah Parsons. I mean, I didn't see it coming into this year. You know, I knew we got Dan Quinn and all this stuff. I didn't see it. I'll give kudos to you because you did see it.
Nostradamus.
Nostradamus McCray out here.
Nostradamus.
Because you saw it, man. I'll give you credit. You said before they even thought about hiring Dan Quinn on, before
he was still working with the Falcons.
He was still working. He was like, hey, I don't know if this guy's going to be available, but if he is, we got to grab him. And I gave it, man, I don't know. This dude gave up 28-3 lead. I don't know anything about it. But you was right. So I'll give you the Nostradamus McCray for now, and we'll see what happens with that top 10. But right now, you're looking right. You're looking right. Well, now looks like we got to dig into this offense a little bit. It wasn't that, they played terrible. Like, it wasn't like they were just god-awful out there. They put up some points, and they made enough plays to win the game. But if you look at how this offense was playing early on in the season, you would have thought this was going to be one of the miracles on turf, looking like the 99 Rams or something like that. They had that potential going into this season. Now, we had a couple injuries. We missed Tyron Smith for a little bit, but those guys are back right now. We got the offensive line communicating well out there, and the offense just seems like it's stagnant. They can't get one thing going. If it's the pass that's doing well, the running game stopped. If the running game's doing well, we can't seem to pass the ball. We haven't had one of those complete games, like you said, since Atlanta, since we were able to blow out Atlanta. So to me, I got to know your thoughts, McCray. What did you think of the offense in yesterday's game?
Yeah, I think I've been talking about this for a while, and it's the run game, all right?
Yeah.
Like, I think at the beginning of the season, you have to put it in your mind and get that mindset of, like, we're going to establish the run going into these games. And then when you go into the first game and you just automatically just shy away from it because of what a team has already done, you're already setting the tone for what you're going to do for the rest of the season, right?
Exactly.
You're letting the defense dictate to you how you're going to play the game, right? So you don't run the ball in the first couple games, all right? Everybody's like, Zeke had a good game here, good game there. Zeke has not been having the Zeke type of games that we expect him to have.
I would agree.
But now you have to say it's a good game because we're a passing team, right? He gets 90 yards. You're like, oh yeah, Zeke.
He had a solid game.
It's
right?
not a good game for Zeke. Not under to the standard that we're usually seeing it, right? Yeah, that's a good game for everybody else. But when I see Zeke and the Zeke that I know that he can be, especially when you say that he came in at training camp, he was slimmer. They're gonna try to keep him more healthy. They're gonna give him the rock. 90 yards. I know Zeke can rush for 150. I know he could be up there at the top echelon of those guys that are playing running back. So we don't establish the run. We hadn't been a running team. And now all of a sudden, quarterback goes down, people start getting hurt. Now you want to become a running team. Yeah. It don't work like that. It doesn't work like that. So now you see us now trying to force it, right? Force it a little bit. And then every time you get a negative, it's like, oh, this is why we didn't run the ball. Right?
Gotta get right to
Now we behind. I'm like, you ain't the only team who been hit with a -2 or been on 2nd and 10. Our 2nd and 10 and you getting stuffed in the run is the same 2nd and 10 when you throw that deep ball on first down and all of a sudden you're 2nd and 10 and now the defense is dictated to you like, oh yeah, now you got 2 downs to get 10. So we know you're going to run it. We run so many boots. We run so many quick plays. Now we work the middle. And I'm like, has he been figured out? Has he been figured out?
Talking about Kellen Moore.
Has Kellen Moore been figured out?
Yeah, it could be.
This is a long stretch of defenses looking like they know.
Yeah, it ain't like it's just a 1 or 2 thing here. This is going on a 3-game run now.
Even the catches for scores or first downs, they are very, very tough catches.
Yeah, everything's contested. Everything. And before it was like, okay, there's a catch, and he's going to run for about 10, 15 yards. He's going to get that explosiveness. But now you're seeing it's like these defenses, they're right on the hip pocket. Now, granted, we played a couple good or a couple better defenses than we did earlier in the season, but I don't know if it's more of Kellen Moore not being as creative as he was earlier in the season, or like if you said, people have kind of figured this guy out and knows his tendencies and knows where he loves to go with the ball. But to me, if the intermediate or the deep ball is not working, like if you know what, we can't get the run game going because the Saints, they stacked the box. They was like, you know what, we are going to make you one-dimensional. We're going to stop this runs. And they did a good job of it. Outside of that Tony Pollard 57-yard run, they did a good job of it. And they made this team one-dimensional. But even making this Cowboys team one-dimensional, you would think with those trio of wide receivers, with Schultz in there, with Dak Prescott at the quarterback position, you would think they would still be able to move the ball, and that just wasn't the case. Now, I would love for them to implement more of that screen game. We saw the bubble screens to CeeDee Lamb and what he's able to do when he gets the ball in his hands. I would love for us to see some of that, but just dropping back and trying to hit these intermediate digs or these deep balls, I just don't see that being consistent. You know, I always think that this offense is at its best. It's at its peak powers. It's at, the magnitude of all offenses when they have a balanced attack, when you don't know what they're going to hit you with. You got to pick your poison. Do we hit you with this run or do we hit you with this pass? And when defenses make us one-dimensional, it kind of bogs us down, and we get to that stagnant offense that we seen last night.
Give me a top 5 team that is not successful running the ball.
Yeah.
Name, can the Packers run the ball?
The only one I can think of is maybe the Chiefs. That's it.
They're not a top 5 team.
Yeah, they're not a top 5 team right now.
They scored 19 on us.
Yeah,
they were just struggling.
Yeah.
When you look at Leonard Fournette, the second coming of Leonard Fournette in college, right? All of a sudden, he got 4 touchdowns last week.
For Teddy Fournette.
100 yards rushing, 40 yards catching. Tampa can run the ball. They situationally, they know when it comes down to it, they're able to run the ball. Look at New England. They can run the ball. Look at Lamar Jackson. You have to be able to. Like, if you can't run the ball with these teams who can play defense, and they once they make you one-dimensional, you look the way that we've looked over the past few weeks, then you're going to be in trouble. Like, now is the time to, like, hey, man, we need to go back to the lab, figure out what it is, what type of runs work for us, right? Obviously, you can't just run power and counter because it's not working.
This ain't 2016. You ain't going to be able to line up and go. You got to have something to it.
So find out what runs work good for Tony Pollard.
Okay.
Find out what runs work good for Zeke at this point, especially with a hurt Zeke. You need to find out what he's able to do if you're not going to rest him. And then keep hammering that, man. Keep hammering that because – the likelihood of you making the playoffs is really high. Yeah. But the likelihood of you going out in the first round if you're not able to establish the run against the team, if the passing game is not working, is really, really high. Yeah. All right. So I think it's time to get there. All right. And if we don't, we can talk about Kellen Moore and all the offensive creativity and all that stuff. But it's going to look just how it's looked in the last few weeks.
I would have to agree with you on that one. I mean, look, this team, they have to get back to the run. And they got 10 days. They got 10 days to figure it out, get back in the lab, get these guys some rest. And speaking about rest and Zeke and Tony Pollard, in your opinion, should the Cowboys have – I mean, it's too late now, but should the Cowboys have rested that Zeke? Because in that game last night, I mean, you and me both, we watched it. It looked like the man was laboring. It looked like he had a big old truck tied to the back of his back, and he just seemed to couldn't get out of second gear. And he was hobbled a little bit, limping here and there. You could see he was just, on his face, everything, his demeanor. It just wasn't the Zeke that we were used to seeing. Usually we see this guy 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and by the time the fourth quarter's going around, he's getting up out the pile talking about feed me. You just didn't see that, last night. So to me, I want to ask you the question: it's too late now, but should they have rested him a little bit and gave him those 2 weeks? Because now we get 10 days off in between this Thursday and the following Sunday game against the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team. Should they have rested him?
I'll say this. So I don't know the total breakdown on how many runs he had in the first half, how many runs he had in the second. But if you weren't going to make him a focal point of the offense, you should have rested him. All right? Because I don't know enough about the injury, but I'm sure that Britt and Jim and G and all those guys, they got a better idea of like what's going on with him, what he's able to do and what he's not. But what we do know about injuries is if you go out in pregame and you get warm and you're feeling good, right? And then all of a sudden you don't do anything for a while. You're not running the ball. You're not really having to use that burst to get all that stuff. Then you get stiff. You look how Zeke looked when he turned that corner in the second half.
That's
on
all
the
that.
Side, right? That's when the injury gets stiff. That's when it's cold outside and all those old injuries start hurting. That's what Zeke looked like at the end of the game, right? Yeah. And you can expect that when you're coming out of halftime, you try to get a guy warm. But if you're not going to make him a focal point, then let Tony Pollard get in there and get those 12 carries, 13 carries, and then rest Zeke. I think that's where it makes sense. But if the assumption was, hey, we're going to focus on running the ball like we've heard Jerry Jones say, like we heard Mike McCarthy say, then I guess they went with the right decision of trying to get him going. But we never saw him get going.
Yeah, you're right about that. And real quick before we take our second break, real quick. Tony Pollard or Zeke? Who needs to get more carries going forward?
If Zeke is hobbled like that, I think it's gonna have to be more even. So Zeke got double of what Tony Pollard got. I think it's gonna have to be more even,
more of a 50-50,
more of a 50-50 thing, and that's only because we need a healthy Zeke. Okay. Like I said, because our running game is Tony Pollard is great. He's also a changeup.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We need somebody with the power running game who can go in there and punish those guys, open the lanes up for Tony Pollard. Because last night we saw it.
What happens?
If it's not if Zeke is not Zeke, then those Tony Pollard runs sometimes they don't go as long. Yeah, they might be a splash play, but you can't depend on that. Every game.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna take our last break here. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. We're in the SWBC studios. We will see you when we get back.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. Or was it they go, you go? And if you have the wrong car insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Back to the Players Lounge.
We are back in this SWBC studios. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. Once again, I'm here with the ultimate survivor. You heard it right. Top 10, top 6. He is in there.
Top 6, baby.
Top 6,
Top
baby.
6, baby.
Danny McCray, the ultimate survivor. It's your boy, just the average box safety. So here we go, man. Look, the whole offense, it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. One person in particular stuck out to me, and that was CeeDee Lamb. This guy continues to just put game after game together where he's balling. And like, no matter how you get him the ball, whether it's screens, whether it's deep passes, whether it's intermediate routes, this guy is getting the ball, he's catching it, and he's making the most of his opportunities. So I ask you, D-Mac, Danny McCray, the ultimate survivor, has CeeDee Lamb rose to that number 1 position above Amari Cooper on the wide receiver pecking scale?
So listen, this is what I said at the beginning of the year. I was hearing all the rumbles of what CeeDee Lamb was doing with Amari Cooper out during training camp.
Yeah,
they said he was going guy looked amazing. I even heard people compare it to Dez Bryant with some of the stuff some of the catches that he was making. And then you see a flash of it on Hard Knocks. You're like, oh man, this dude is serious, right? So I'm looking in my head. I say, you know what? If you can compare this guy to Dez Bryant and he's making those type of catches on the fade routes, because Amari Cooper can do it, but that's not his game.
That's not it.
All right. Then you also add what CeeDee Lamb can do coming out of the backfield, running jet sweeps. Every time we've seen Amari Cooper try to get one of those, it doesn't usually work.
He going down quick.
when you see CeeDee Lamb get it, in your mind, you're like, oh man, this could go house right here, right? Yep. So I think that he's a little bit more versatile than Amari Cooper at this point. He's also more available than Amari Cooper at this point, which to me adds up to being, yes, number 1 option, trusted option. But then you got to throw in Schultz.
Yeah.
You got to throw in Schultz,
a security blanket.
Who's he more comfortable with at this point, Schultz or Amari Cooper?
I would say Schultz, man.
Like it's like I'm not saying that Schultz is better than Amari Cooper. Please don't.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Schultz has been available. Schultz has turned into that Witten type of thing that Romo had with the connection that they had. When you look up and you say, man, if Dak's in trouble, who's he looking for? Schultz is catching the ball. I was actually more nervous when I thought Schultz was going to be out of the game.
When he was on the ground?
I was like, oh man,
what we going to do?
We in trouble. It's going to be all CD, right? So yeah, like I said, at the end of the year, I think we will come back to these conversations and say, man, I think CeeDee Lamb outperformed Amari Cooper, one, because he was available more, and two, because he's a little bit more versatile. And then shout out to Michael Gallup as well, who we've all said that deep ball and those over-the-shoulder, those fade routes, that's his specialty.
Yeah,
and if you looking for a guy that you want to pay 10 to 12, 12 to 14 who can make those type of plays, you need to follow. You need to go get Michael Gallup.
Well, Sutton got about 14. So, yeah.
So, if you're looking at this guy play, when he's able to be a number two or he has some type of help where he ain't getting double teamed, he can make some plays.
Ball out.
So, shout out to him. I saw on Twitter they said that was it KZ is missing a lot of tackles. Do you believe? Is he playing that bad? He's slipping a little bit.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, because KZ, he had an interception this last game, but if you look at the angles that this guy's taken out of the post, it's just not good. I mean, half of the time you would think, man, are they in cover zero? Like, where's the free safety at? But KZ, he's just doing his own thing roaming back there, just roaming and air reading, and you ain't got the cachet to be air reading out there. So, I think they definitely gotta hone in on his skills and make sure he's in the right position, because there's been plays where, look at that the end of the game where Harris caught the ball like a punt return.
Yes.
You're supposed to have somebody back there stopping everything. I mean, he took away everybody's angle, so I definitely think he needs to get better in his post safety skills. But I'm right there with you on CeeDee Lamb. I think he's risen above Amari Cooper. One, like you said, because of the availability. And two, they highlight this guy. They move him around the formation each and every play. He's not going to be just stagnant on the outside. He's not going to be just stagnant in the slot. They move him around, hit him with the post or pre-snap motion. So it's hard for defenses to kind of focus in and get their best cover guy on him. I mean, look, how many times was Lattimore watching CeeDee Lamb yesterday? He didn't have the opportunity because he was moving him around. He's moving all over the place. So it's hard for defenses to pick up on him. So I think they're highlighting CeeDee Lamb, and I think that's what's giving him the ability to kind of supplant Amari Cooper as that number one wide receiver. I mean, he's doing great things with the ball after the catch. He's running great routes, and even though some of his catches are contested, he's making them.
Malcolm Jenkins knows he's the number one receiver.
Oh my goodness,
Malcolm Jenkins knows.
That's like your worst nightmare as a safety. When you coming down, this guy got half of the field, and it's just you and him one-on-one. And
you in the full speed sprint, right? Yeah, that's just hard. It's hard.
In that situation, Jenkins, if I'm Jenkins, you gotta just shoot your gun. Oh, if you just get shook and get just stuck like that, it looks way.
I've been in that position.
Yeah, same here. I've been there.
So we're not saying that we're gonna be better at it.
Yeah. I would have broken ankle. All right, at least he was able to finish the game. I would have broke my ankle out there. But you gotta shoot your gun,
boy.
He took his soul.
He did.
But here, one thing. I don't want to. Maybe I read too much into it, but I can remember back when Dez Bryant started to become the number one guy here. Before that, he was returning punts. Remember that?
I do.
Last night, okay. In previous games, we had seen CeeDee Lamb be back there being a punt returner.
Yeah, because you said Wilson, he had an injury, I think, right?
Yeah. But did you see who was returning punts yesterday?
Was it
Trayvon Diggs?
Trayvon Diggs was back there.
Okay, am I seeing this same type of pattern where I think Dez broke his ankle on punt return, and then Jerry was like, "Hey, ain't no punt return, ain't no more punt return,
not no more."
And then you start to look at what we had, Amari Cooper being hurt, and you like, okay, we need CeeDee Lamb, so let's take him out on punt return. Is that what we're seeing here?
He's starting to climb the charts, man. He's starting to climb the charts, and rightfully so. The man's balling out, and yesterday he had another fantastic game. So, hey. He might be taking over that number one spot. But let's get into the NFC East real quick. We only got a couple minutes left here. Are you nervous, or should this Cowboys team be slightly worried that Washington is starting to pick up their game? I think they won 3 straight. Their defense is starting to perform a little bit better. Taylor Heineke is out there doing some things here and there, but they do have a strong running game with Gibson and McKissick. Should the Cowboys be worried looking in their rearview mirror that maybe this Washington team has an opportunity to catch them in the rankings? Because we still got to play them twice. Cowboys have a 2.5 game lead on the division. Should they be nervous?
If the Cowboys are smart, I wouldn't say they should be worried, but I think they should be aware.
Okay.
Right? Just based off how you've performed since the bye week. I don't think there's any gimmies, right? Even last night. Even last night wasn't a gimme. We scored 7 on defense. We gave them the ball in our own territory a couple times, and we ended up with 27 points.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? So we have. It's not like we've been blowing them out of the water. When I made my picks and I said we were scoring 30, I looked at you. I said, "Oh, you don't think we're gonna score 30 on the Saints?" You were like, we could.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the game last night, I'm like, you take off that 7, that's 20. If we don't get those 4 turnovers, then all of a sudden you don't know how we're gonna be able to drive the ball.
Look at the turn and play. When Parsons tipped the play and Kurtz got the pick, if the Saints were to keep running the football, they might have been in the end zone right there.
Well, listen, and then also, as much as we complained about the referees the week before, that crackback block,
I forgot all about that. That was one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. I thought they were saying, okay, he blocked him in the back. And I was like, it still was a ticky-tack call, but whatever. But when they said that was a peel back, so you can't even pick up blitzes now? Like, how is that even?
My man's lined up on the other side of the formation. He has to get his read of a blitzing player. What is he supposed to do?
Let him hit the quarterback? To me, these refs sometimes,
that changed the momentum of the game, bro.
Big time.
Changed the momentum of the game.
Big
so
time.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the rest. Shout out to the rest.
And also, I love to give a shout out to Greg the Leg. I call him Hook 'em Left. I give Greg the Leg a lot of flack on this show, but he stepped up. He stepped up yesterday. I think he was 2 for 2 from the field goals. He hit a 50-plus yarder. I think he was 3 for 3 on his extra points. So he stepped up his game. So shout out to Zerline. You did a little bit better. I appreciate you because I got you in fantasy. So you did a little bit better for me. So I appreciate you. So good thing for him stepping up. But overall, it was a complete game by this Dallas Cowboys team. Defensively, I think they played one of their best games. Offensively, still a little bit of struggles, but we got time to pick it up. And look, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the show. It's 1:16 right now. Players Lounge. We're in the SWBC studios. Once again, I'm here with the ultimate survivor. Make sure you check him out Wednesdays at, I want to say 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Top 6?
Top 6.
Top 6 right now.
It's getting down to the nitty-gritty.
It's getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Only one more episode until the finale. So it's 2 episodes left.
Finale's 2 hours or something like that, right? Got to be long.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So look, you heard it here first. My man is in the top 6. Thanks to CB, our wonderful producer back there, always getting us right. Once again, this is the Players Lounge brought to you by Hotel.com. We will see you on Monday. We'll have Nui back in here. And I'm glad I didn't listen to Nui to play Amari Cooper in my fantasy. I'd have been super sick about that. So yeah, Nui, I ain't never taking your advice again when it comes to football. But thanks you for watching the Players Lounge, and we'll see you on Monday.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?